Oh shit! Oh shit! The movie Avengers are here. They have arrived, and I'm hearing other sounds. What are those other sounds I'm hearing right now?
That could be my background. My kids are still up.
Okay. Welcome, everyone. Welcome to another episode of Is It Really That Bad? We're going to talk Legend today, 1985 Legend, and we have the Avengers here. We have Eric, Asian movie enthusiast, Rob, Entertainment Talk Nation, and the Sexy Sumo. How's everybody doing? How you doing today, Eric?
Pretty good.
All right. Sumo.
I am feeling excellent.
Awesome. Rob.
Rested. Took like a 3-hour nap a little while ago, and then I just ate a big-ass steak dinner. So rested and sluggish.
Slow motion. Slow motion.
Very slow. The last 3 days have been very slow motion.
Hey, it's all good. Let's see the Movie Dojo Army. Let's see who is here. We got Goji here, Michael Gonzalez, Brad Movies, John Martinez, some Asian movie enthusiast guy, Gilbert, Gene, what's going on? Carlo Coy in the house, my buddy Carlo, Raven Loon, Sean Gilliam, what's going on? Bob Odinson, let's start the ruckus. Cup of Malik, Mr. Triangle World, Jake Hall, all the legends are here. Dog Soldier, welcome everyone. 21 Badasses hanging out with us right now so far. We got James just showing up here and Jonathan. Today we are talking Legend. All right. So, Sexy Sumo, was this the first time you saw this movie?
Yeah, I've only seen clips like when on Channel 5 once in a blue moon, but
oh boy, so you might actually hate this.
Yeah.
oh,
it's very possible. It's very possible. He might be like, "What the fuck? This is some bullshit. I can't believe I paid money for this." But we're gonna get into it. We're gonna get into
what
it.
the hell is a Blix?
We'll get into it though. But for those, just a reminder, everyone, this will contain spoilers. All of these episodes do. So just letting you know, giving you a warning. So really quick.
Hey, what if there's another loser out there that hasn't seen it yet?
What's up?
What if there's another loser like me out there that hasn't seen the movie yet? We're gonna ruin it.
That's why we get a spoiler warning. All right. So, Legend, 1985, directed by Ridley Scott, the legendary director, not the director that directed Exodus, Gods and Kings. Fuck that. That was somebody else that did that piece of shit. But legendary Ridley Scott directed this fantasy flick starring Tom Cruise, everyone's favorite cutie from the 80s, Amira Sarah, and Tim Curry. We're going to get into Tim Curry in a little bit here, a little bit later. But yeah, the plots. Now here's the thing. Here's the plot synopsis. Here we go. You ready for this? A young man must stop the Lord of Darkness, named Darkness, from destroying daylight and marrying the woman he loves. Now, that's the plot.
Oh,
that's it.
It all.
That's it. So either you want more than that. If you want more than that, then you're probably going to hate the movie. If you expect a nonstop action thrill ride, Lord of the Rings style, you're probably not going to like this. Okay? Does that make this a bad movie, in my opinion? It does not, because this is its own thing. Ridley Scott wanted to make a fantasy flick, and I think he did a great job in making a fantasy adventure. Now, all the action mostly takes place at the end of the movie, which is where it should be because it's the finale, right? You got to build up to it. But I remember watching this on TV in spots growing up, and it kind of creeped me out because I was little. Remember, I'm little, little samurai, and I was like, and it kind of creeped me out, but I couldn't stop watching. Those are the classic 80s movies right there. Movies like The Gate, you know what I'm saying? Scares us when we're young. We still got to keep watching because it's awesome. So first off the bat, though, it's been years since I've seen this movie. I did grow up enjoying it, but it's been years since I've revisited it. So this is the perfect show and opportunity to talk about it now. But first off the back, holy fucking shit. Yeah, the plot is a little simplistic, but it's fine. But holy shit, the cinematography in this movie is still mind-blowing. The cinematography in this movie is fucking insane. It is ridiculous. This is one of the most ridiculously good-looking, beautiful movies ever. This is like a beautiful, gorgeous movie. Okay, cinematography is on point. The sets are ridiculous. That forest. Did you guys know majority of that forest? They built that shit.
Yeah.
They built. All right. They didn't go out in some bootleg park. They had this huge, gigantic, like warehouse. I think so. But still, they did. You know, that was a lot of hard work went into making this movie. All those birds and shit and animals in there. They're They made it their home. I remember I heard a story that they had trouble trying to get all the animals out because the animals were like, no, motherfucker, this is our home. We in the forest. This ain't a real forest. What? But yeah, the sets are insane. The makeup effects, we're gonna get to Tim Curry a little bit later, is phenomenal. I will leave that to Rob. Rob can go into the awesomeness of Tim Curry, but we can all talk about what we liked and what we didn't like about the movie. But the sets, phenomenal. Cinematography, phenomenal. Makeup effects, phenomenal. And a very awesome and iconic score from Tangerine Dream. Rob, have you seen the director's cut?
No, I have not.
Okay. So, Eric?
Yes.
Okay. So there's good news and bad news. Oh, hold on one second. Rob muted his mic.
Oh, I saw a little bit of
muted your mic.
Yeah, no, I'm doing that on purpose to drown out till the kids start snoring.
It's all good. Go ahead, Sumo. What are you saying?
I saw a little bit. I started watching the director's cut. I watched maybe the first 20 minutes.
Yeah.
And I can kind of see what you guys were talking about.
Right. So it does have, I like the new scenes that were in the director's cut. You get an extended sequence with Mucklebones Meg, Eric's favorite. You get a scene with her. They show Tom Cruise do a little bit more acrobatic stuff, which is fun. But and I think the Darkness's entrance had a little bit more. There was a little bit more footage of the Darkness, his entrance, his reveal to the girl at the end. So I like the extra scenes, except not the scene where she fucking sings to the unicorn. That made me throw up. Thankfully that, we're not talking about that one today. We're talking about the theatrical. So the pluses are the picture quality completely destroys the theatrical version. The picture quality is really good. The extra scenes are good, despite the singing throw-up part. I like the extra scenes. I like them. They're enjoyable. Unfortunately, the original Jerry Goldsmith score, and Jerry Goldsmith is one of our favorite composers, and Lady Fatblood loves him. He's so good. But for some reason, it made the movie a little bit too sweet. I remember when I watched the commentary with Ridley Scott, and he mentioned that he was in the theater watching, like test screenings with people. And they were like, by the end, they were just ready. They were doing this because they were like, oh God, because the Jerry Goldsmith score was little bit too Disney. It was a little bit too, yay, you know what I'm saying? A little bit too much. So by the end of it, the audience were like, dude, what the fuck is this, right? Which is strange because it is a fantasy movie. So you think a fantasy score would have worked, right? Then Tangerine Dream came in, and it brought a different element to the movie, which I call the Tangerine Dream score beautiful and haunting at the same time. It's a very combination, because when you listen to that score, it's very nice and very pleasing to the ear, but then there's some parts of it where you're like, okay, where are we going now? Am I about to get kidnapped? What's happening? What is going on right now, right? So I think the Tangerine Dream score works better in this movie, and when he did the retest screenings with people, they liked it a lot better without the Jerry Goldsmith score. So, like I said, to each his own, apples and oranges. But I didn't have an issue. I did not have the issue. I think I want you guys to give your theory. Well, not you, Sumo, because you're brand new. We'll get to you in a minute. But Rob and Eric, after we got done talking about it, what do you think the theory? Just to keep this question in your head so we can revisit it later. Why you think people don't like the movie? Why it didn't really do that great in theater? Just give your theory. I have a theory, but go ahead. We'll get into that a little bit later. But let's talk about what we liked and didn't like about the movie. First, how you discovered it, and then we'll go from there. Eric, go for it, bro.
Yeah, this one is one of my big three from my childhood. I watched this movie all the time. In terms of fantasy films, it was Legend, Return to Oz, and The Never-Ending Story were my big three. And the critics hated Return to Oz as well.
Yes.
But this one, right from the start of this movie, because everybody knows by now that I'm pretty obsessed with atmosphere in films. And this one is one of my favorites in that regard. Because right in the opening, like 5 seconds after you get the opening crawl, it just hits you. You get the synth music. You're in the forest immediately. You know, the animals are running around. The bear's eating his honey. You know what I mean? You get that atmosphere already kind of immersed in the world. And then you even get a few shots of the villains. Blix, the goblin, shows up and he goes to see Lord Darkness. Yeah. And there's a pretty good exchange there. You know, you got the Lord of Darkness sitting like in the dark with his chefs in the back, the giant humanoid monsters, hacking people to pieces, getting ready to prepare dinner, which it's like, it just sets the tone. I love it. And there's just a lot of memorable imagery in this. And it's got a variety too, because at the beginning it's almost like a summery type vibe, and then it descends into like the snowy type stuff. And then when you get into the layer of darkness, which is the entire second half of the film, you have some just ridiculous like set designs and special effects.
Yeah, insane.
Like one of my favorites is the one right before the temptation sequence with Mia Sara, where she's running down the hallway towards the camera and then she turns the corner. So you get almost like the firewall on the one side, and the other side you have like the stream indoors with like all these weird architecture. It's just it really kind of takes me away. And then I would have to say creature effects. Yeah, we could get to those later, but they did get Rob Bottin, the guy from The Thing, did this movie.
There
so
you
just
go.
Keep that in mind. But again, the script is nothing mind-blowing, but I think Ridley Scott wanted to streamline it. He was basing it off of a lot of old school fairy tales, some of which are pretty simplistic.
Yeah.
So I think just a streamline, he didn't want too many subplots, side plots, and I think it worked well. And another pet peeve of mine are runtimes, especially for fantasy films.
Yeah.
Films in general, it's just my thing. 90% of the films I watch are too long. Like nine out of 10 times, I'm like, oh, you could have cut that scene out. You could have cut that scene out. I can't really say that about this movie. I mean, it was very, very clean. There's not a lot of fat to it, and I really appreciate that as well. So those are my general thoughts.
All right, cool. Rob, I'm going to save Sumo for last because he's never seen this before.
So I purposely did not rewatch this movie because I have a feeling my opinion on it's going to change pretty dramatically from when I remember it, and I want to have fond memories because I love this movie, and I remember a good deal outside of some of the character names. So I'm glad you guys are popping those off before it gets to my turn. But I think what stands out about this movie, what I love about it, is the music. That's probably the number one thing.
Yes.
Tangerine Dreams. My affection for Mia Sara at that age, that's putting it mildly. She was like on Salma Hayek status before Salma Hayek came around. Tim Curry. Tim Curry is one of my favorite actors. So I think he pretty much is to me the big feature in this movie. Like Tom Cruise hasn't really come into his own yet. Mia Sara, as much as I loved her in this and Ferris Bueller and other things, she never really kind of transformed into that big time actress that I think people expected at that time. And not to mention she kind of annoys me in this movie as much as I love her. Her role's pretty annoying. But I think this movie in terms of fantasy at that time was very different than what we were getting. Fantasy at that time was stuff like, Conan, Kroll, Beastmaster, and this was very different. Those movies were, you saw kind of what you expected to see. This movie took it way deep into fantasy, like straight fairy tale, folklore, fairies, things of that nature. You didn't really see a whole hell of a lot of that at that time. But to me, the standout of this movie, the thing I love about it most to this day, makeup, makeup design, the practical effects, the wardrobe was very good. I mean, that dress she was wearing at the end of the movie when you thought she was evil. I mean, that's an insane dress. Just the way they transformed Tim Curry. I mean, Tim Curry's not a big guy. You know what I mean?
Right.
He's not a big dude, and he looked imposing in that movie. Now, granted, to be fair, anybody looks imposing next to Tom Cruise. Tom Cruise is about 5'1", but you know, I know he's like 5'7", but yeah. And Eric's right. The story is very simple, and I think that is something that's a detriment for most people. There weren't too many big time successful fantasy films at that time, you know, and fantasy really started to hit its stride in the 2000s. You know, fantasy films prior to like Harry Potter, prior to like Lord of the Rings, weren't really taken seriously. Kind of like comic book films were not taken seriously until like Spider-Man and X-Men started coming out. You know, if you look at some of the superhero movies in the 90s, they were dreadful. So fantasy was looked upon like that during the same era. So I kind of think the movie was ahead of its time. I think it would do a lot better now. I think people would welcome this movie more now because of its simplicity, because of the short run time, and because of the way it's presented. The presentation in this movie, to me, still holds today. The lighting, the image, and Tangerine Dreams, the soundtrack just enhances the world on sound alone. Not a lot of people, if you're not a fan of this movie, not so many people know who Tangerine Dreams are. But if you watch this movie, you would say to yourself, there's no other composer or artist or group that could make the soundtrack for this movie. It's almost like they were made to make a soundtrack for this movie.
Right. No, I agree. And it kind of makes sense. You threw in your theory right there, which was perfect. Do you agree with his theory of why it didn't work, Eric? This for some people.
If you want, let's go to the two most overrated critics of all time. So I got it right here. Let's do Siskel first. This will give you the explanation right now. So didn't you think we had seen the last of the sword and sorcery epics, at least those not starring Arnold you-know-who? Well, one more slip through the distribution channels, and it stinks from top to bottom. And then he goes on to say that it's just an awful film. Ridley Scott, a director who specializes in artful, heartless movies. However, Legend is not the least bit artful. This is Gene Siskel telling you that Legend is not the least bit artful.
Yeah.
But you're wondering, wait a second, how is he coming at this? And he gives himself up right here. What you won't be able to predict or explain to your shocked children is why we have to see one of the unicorns shot. I know all about Bambi's mother, but Legend is a waste of film stock by comparison. Wow. So he just hated, and Ebert basically said the same thing. He's like, he basically goes through and says, these movies are just, the problem with Legend is that it's just wrong for this material. To some degree, this is a fairy tale, but it needs a lightness of tone, a plucky cheerfulness to work. And that's your explanation right there. Oh, there it is.
And that was the problem at that time. When you have movies like, the Never-Ending Story, which is, you have movies like The Dark Crystal, those movies. I mean, even Dark Crystal's obviously darker than, Never-Ending Story, but those movies have a lot of light elements and more child friendly. I think at that time, fantasy was synonymous with children. And I mean, if you had released Lord of the Rings, to some extent, has some pretty dark and violent moments. I mean, I know you're chopping off the heads of orcs, but if you put Lord of the Rings in the 80s, they're going to say the same thing, in my opinion. They're going to say the same thing. Yeah.
And they had the same problem with Return to Oz, the same exact problem.
Wow.
Yeah. It was a fantasy more catered to an older audience, a little bit more mature. I swear to God, if you had released Legend in this era, in the 2000s, it would have done a lot better. And it would have done a lot better, in my opinion.
All right. All of this is making sense. Good points, Eric and Rob. All right. Now this is going to get interesting, and then I'll end cap the movie, and then we can talk about whatever after that. It's going to be interesting. Sexy Sumo has not seen the movie. He just recently watched it. All right.
Sexy Sumo. If you don't like the movie, just lay into it. Don't worry about me. I won't be offended.
I was going to say, you guys covered it all. I can go home now. Well, I'm done.
You liked it?
Huh?
You liked it?
I did like it. I enjoyed it.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I mean,
I was getting a sense of darkness was about to arise.
like for me, like you guys pointed out, Tim Curry was the star of that film. You know, he pretty much killed it throughout the whole thing. Looking at some of the director's cut and then the theatrical cut, you see darkness right at the beginning,
Yeah.
as opposed to the other one, you don't see him until like an hour and some change later. But I thought darkness looked the best when he was sitting on his actual chair, where he's all black,
Yeah.
with the neon yellow eyes and the
Yeah.
saliva. Man,
Yeah.
that was dope, man. I love that.
The
You know, but
neon
then when
darkness.
but then when he came out all red and normal, it's like that still looked pretty cool, but not as cool as that dark looking darkness, you know.
Yeah.
Aside from that, the story, like you guys, it was simple, it was short. I'm still gonna watch the director's cut just to get that whole
Yeah.
take on that.
Yeah.
The soundtrack was pretty shitty on the other one. The director's cut, the Tangerine
Yeah.
Dream really was far superior to that. Now, if they can take the Tangerine Dream, put it with the director's cut, that would be pretty awesome.
Yeah.
Obviously, I mean, for me, Willow would be one of my top fantasy movies.
Me too.
For the most part. But like I said, this one was good. The practical effects, the makeup effects, Meg Muckbones, super hot. You know, so I really enjoyed it. I saw the extended cut of that scene,
Yeah.
which kind of showed a lot better cool stuff. Tom Cruise's fight choreography, very limited.
Yeah. Yeah.
I noticed that he did the same two moves twice, which is the jump kick,
Yeah.
dodging the sword, jump kick, and then a backflip. He did that twice. And I was like, oh, okay, that was cool. But other than that, I mean, like I said, the overall experience of the movie, like you guys said, it was a really good fantasy flick. And the whole cinematography and layout was very nice.
Well, cool. I'm glad you liked it.
Yeah.
But
I've owned the damn thing for a couple years and I just barely watched it.
Oh, I thought you just recently just bought it. I thought.
No, my brother-in-law gave it to me for a birthday a couple years back,
okay.
and I just had it in my stack over here.
Well, I'm glad you enjoyed it. But
It was good.
Yeah, but back to talking about the movie a little bit. I do agree with you, Sumo. That whole opening where he's got the neon eyes and the neon nails, and he's sitting there like a fucking pimp.
Yeah, man.
The crew is like killing, innocent people in the back, getting ready for the barbecue, right? Like getting ready. I mean, I was just like, okay, I'm all in. I'm all in. I think I can listen to Tim Curry talk like darkness for everything. I think I would buy whatever he.
Yeah, like I would love for that to be like my GPS narrator.
Yeah.
Turn left on this boulevard.
Or Alexa.
Dude, I'm telling you. Buy this car insurance.
So, darkness, please turn on my TV. I shall do no such thing.
But yeah, I mean, there's so much to like, and I get it. Everything Eric and Rob and you guys brought up makes sense of why people did not feel it or like it in the 80s. But the funny thing is when I rewatched it, it's definitely dark, but there's fucking hilarious, lighthearted moments in there too.
Yeah, those little like they're dwarves or something.
Yeah,
I mean they're
Adios,
funny.
amigos.
Yep.
Yeah, I was gonna get to that. So we have let's see, what's some of the things I pointed out here when Cruz is like bringing the girl to see the unicorns, right? So very beautifully filmed, right? And they're sacred creatures. You're not supposed to touch them, right? And of course, she fucks everything up, right? She has to touch it, distracts it, and then Blix and them shoot the poison arrow in the unicorn, which causes the ruckus of darkness to awake, and everything goes to shit after this. After they cut off the unicorn, but before they got there, you gotta love. I loved Blix and the other two guys. You got the pig goblin. And then you got the fake goblin with the big gigantic helmet on, with the steam coming out of the helmet. It's hilarious. I'm like, dude, there's lighthearted moments in here, right? But I love how as soon as they showed up and looked at the unicorn, the one with the big helmet said, "Look, ugly one-horned mule. And there's all kinds of stuff throughout there. I like when they were like fighting over the unicorn, you know. And then the pig goblin's all like, I would wish for everything to be all garbage.
Yep.
It's so tasty. And then girl out there, I just wanted to suck her bones. And you got the other guys like, oh, I would eat her brains like jam. I mean, there's all kinds of goofy moments, but I loved when they finally called Darkness and he showed up. He showed up out of nowhere, and then and she's still like talking shit, like I'm powerful. And then the pig goblin's like, yo, Big D. And then the big helmet with the steam coming out, fake goblin, he comes around there, he grabs a unicorn horn, and he's all like, your reign is over, Darkness. Okay, your reign is done. I am the one in charge. I am the man. And then Darkness just does this, and all of a sudden the mummy corpse comes alive. Did you guys notice that he says shit?
Yeah.
Did you notice that?
No,
As soon as the goblin, as soon as the Darkness raises the corpse up, the zombie, to grab, the little dude for talking shit. As soon as he raises up, he turns and goes, shit. And then he grabs him, picks him up, and then just jumps with him into a ditch, and he goes, adios, amigos. I was dying laughing last night. I was dying laughing because I forgot about that. So to me, there was lighthearted moments in here. It wasn't just all like darkness, but the darkness is what we really love about the movie. But yeah, simplistic plot, right? We got Tom Cruise meets up with we might as well call them hobbits. We got some hobbits, fairies, and we got
an
a
elf
here.
I think he's an elf, or he's supposed to be.
Yeah, he was the little mini Legolas in this movie.
Right? Yeah, he's Legolas. Yep.
Yeah, and so they go on their adventure to try to rescue the girl and try to reattach the unicorn horn and save the day to bring light back. Because as of right now, the world is half in darkness. It's not fully darkness yet until they kill and do the ceremony for the other unicorn. So very, very simplistic plot. Very simplistic plot. I think of course, you know how we are, Sexy Sumo. Of course, we would have wanted our hero to be more badass. Beastmaster Conan. I know we would want our hero to be more badass, but I think, picking the jobber, I think that was the point of the movie, because even he was like, we need to find a champion. Even right. I think that was on purpose, because Tom Cruise was like, we need to find a champion to help us. And then they're like, no, man. The Gump was like, no, you're good enough. And he's like, me? He's like, I don't know how to fight. I don't know how to use weapons.
Because I don't think he really had to defend himself, right?
Yeah, I think
being in the forest, it was always safe, and he never had to really fight anything or anyone.
He was just very acrobatic and wily. That was about it. So I think that the whole element of him being out of his league, I think that was on purpose, especially when Darkness shows up and he's like, what do we have here? A little boy. I mean, it was on purpose. It was on purpose. But let's get to the star. That's right. Represent.
There you go.
You got to represent. I know it's Dusty. I know. So let's get to the star here. Eric, hold on. I'm going to give this one to you, Eric, because I was dying laughing earlier. So Tim Curry is the star. We know this. We all know this. He killed it in this. And the practical effects and the makeup of him walking around is insane. It's real. There's no CGI here, folks. But I'm just going to show one shot here. Now, this is 1985. 1985. No CGI. This is all just beautiful cinematography and directing and lighting and everything. I'm about to show you this is not even in Blu-ray quality. A horribly pixelized GIF of the 2-second scene. And I'm going to show you this. Look at this. Look at that. Look at that right there. Are you fucking kidding me right now?
It's a great shot.
Look at this. Look at how beautiful this movie looks. This is fucking insane. This is insane. 1985. Look at this. And this is a pixelized GIF. This is even Blu-ray or 4K. Look at this. No fantasy movies were looking like this back then. I mean, this is insane. But go ahead, and Rob. Were you about to jump in there?
Oh no. I was just gonna say, yeah, like I said, it was ahead of its time.
Yeah. And this is the man right here. This right, shut the fuck up. Who's bothering me? Where's my lunch?
I forgot my lines.
Yeah. Right. This is the man. Now I'm gonna, the whole. Now here's. I only had rewatching it again. I only had one question. I kind of wished we saw who he was talking to. I was hoping it's not necessary. It's not necessary. But he kept calling father, especially before he got killed. He goes, "Father, protect me." And then earlier, he's like, "Oh, this new hot, sexy lady. Do you see what I have to deal with down here? I have nothing but goblins, and there's no hot, sexy women down here. Oh, I come across a hot, sexy woman. Father, she's making me feel funny." Right? I don't know. I've never felt this way before. Right? So the father comes out, you hear his voice out of the fireplace, and he goes, "Seduce her, woo her, make her one of us," right? And then we have the scene where she's slowly, being seduced and turned to the dark side. You see her pick up all these diamonds and jewelry. She was kind of like, "Oh, look at this." And then she becomes seduced right here. And then she gets up. Then she, turns into that. Well, basically ends up wearing that dress that Rob's talking about. So the entity that's spinning around her right now, she eventually ends up in that and looks ridiculously more hot about the movie. Now, did you guys remember? See the little table to the right?
Yep.
Did you guys remember? I don't know how I forgot this, but when that
cherub,
the
cherub,
yeah.
It turns around.
I don't know why I forgot that. When the statue of the cherub sitting there, it's a statue, and then when the seductress entity starts coming around, the statue wakes up and he's all like, I was like, I don't remember that for some reason, and I was laughing my ass off. I wanted them to still show him during that video. It's only for a few seconds, but it starts getting up and it starts grooving. I'm like, what in the world? I don't remember that, but I was laughing hysterically. But yeah, she looks ridiculously hot. Now I'm going to let Eric talk about the table scene here.
Yeah.
Look at
Do
this.
you find me pleasing?
Yeah.
Look at this. This is why Tim Curry's the man.
Oh yeah.
That makeup job is insanely good.
It took him like 5 hours in the makeup chair to get into that thing. I think they said.
Wow.
Oh,
I was reading that the horns that they used were really heavy at first.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So he had like this one like gear that he had on his like supporting his neck. So when he'd have the horns, because they weren't hollow at first, they were actually solid. So he'd always like lean his head forward, and he had it for such a long period of time that it would hurt his neck.
Yeah.
So then they decided to make them hollow, so they'd be lighter, and he'd be able to move around in them. Yeah.
Oh, okay, cool. Fun fact. That's awesome. Hey, whatever makes it work, and it works. Yeah. But the table scene cracked me up because he's literally sitting here like this after this ridiculously intimidating opening shot of him coming towards her to where she faints, which I think all of us would if we saw that coming out of nowhere, right? But then he's all like, "Hey, talk to me." He's like, "Hey, sit down, talk to me. I find your words pleasing." I was dying laughing. I was like, "Look at this pimp! Look at this pimp! Pimp!" Oh my god!
She plays him during that scene. She plays him.
She does.
She gets him mad, and then she knows she could use it to her advantage. So she basically convinces him that she'd go through with the ceremony in order to live.
And I remember that part because it looked like he came. Remember, he was like, "Yeah, I've never had this feeling. My pants are soiled."
It was fucking brilliant.
The cherub comes over, cleans it up.
Well, he's the one that probably holds it when he goes to the bathroom. So
Oh.
Oh my god.
There.
Oh.
my demon dick is erect.
Oh shit. But yeah. That scene where he's just like all intimidated and he's like, "Hey, talk to me. Eat, drink. I find you very interesting." But yeah, he did come. But before he came over there and came, that one shot where she pisses him off and he loses it and he starts slowly walking towards the camera and the camera backs up.
Mm-hmm.
That scared the shit out of me when I was a kid. When I was a kid, I saw that shot. I was like, "Oh God, we're all gonna die. We're all gonna die. This is bad." But then, hey, she was smooth with the words, bro. She's like, "Look, I'll kill the motherfucking unicorn. I will kill the unicorn." And then, oh,
He busted another one.
Oh, I see the benefit of the light.
I like the whole reflective light finale too. That was pretty cool. Like, how do you get light all the way down to this cavern? They use the shields to reflect.
Yeah. They were like big silver platters or something. Yeah.
yeah.
Science.
Yeah, it was fun. To rewind a little bit back to these guys, you got old veteran there. What's his name?
The Brown Tom.
Billy Bart.
Billy Barty. Yeah, he's been in so much. Masters Universe, Willow.
UHF.
Yeah, he's been in everything. He was cracking me up in the movie too. But his friend, I forgot what his friend's name was on the right.
That's Brown Tom.
Brown Tom.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay, thanks, Sumo. Brown Tom. Come on now. That scene where he was trying to defend the unicorn with the frying pan. Come on, that was fucking great.
That was great.
Blocking the arrows and doing John Woo Chang-yun fat jump.
The original
motion.
He was like the original John Wick.
Yeah.
Like
with frying pans. I was dying.
Little Wick. He's a little Wick.
He's little.
I was dying, man.
And then he found an excuse to fake his own death so he'd live. Isn't that what he did, really? Or do you think he really got knocked out?
I think he just I thought he just fainted.
Booze, right? They
What's
shot him
up?
in the head where he had his booze.
Yeah.
Oh man.
And he fainted. But yeah, all these characters they were not useless. They all had their purpose. You know, there wasn't really any throwaway characters. And back to Mucklebones. I know we were gushing over this guy. Oh, gush. Gush over me, yes.
Oh, dropping loads.
Let's go back a little bit to Mucklebones. Again, I'm about to play a horribly pixelized GIF. This is not even Blu-ray quality. Look at how good this is. This is no CGI here. Look at this. Look at this.
Yeah, that makeup is incredible.
Are you fucking kidding me right now? Are you kidding me right now? If you left this on and you were strapped to a chair to stare at this all day, you got nightmare fuel.
I got nightmare fuel when I saw this as a kid. I was like, oh man, that's scary.
Right? But dude, look at this. This is insane. Insane. And you gotta love. I like the little finale we had at the end. We had like flame powers. We had the sword doing flame powers. We had sword fighting. At some point, Tom Cruise was doing his useless acrobatics, but it was fun. It was fun. Yeah,
backflip.
But yeah, the end finale was at least fun to watch.
I like when he charged at him with the horns.
Yes,
that was awesome.
That was sick. That was so sick. Horns, have him pinned up. Boy. Yeah. And then, we had some highlighting moments here. We had Tom Cruise doing drop kick, right? After he did drop kick, Darkness picked him up, did choke slam, right? We just needed a Stone Cold Stunner throw in here. We would have been good to go.
And a tombstone.
They saved the day. They rescued the girl, who actually, I totally get why Rob found her irritating. I was just wanting to. What's wrong with petting the unicorn?
Mhm.
I totally get it. I totally get the annoyance of that. But even she, at the end, had her character arc and didn't become useless.
Yeah,
And
she redeemed herself.
Yes, and freed the unicorn. Earlier, when she was visiting the neighbor or the common folk, and the neighbor's like, or the common folk chick is like, why are you down here? You're a princess. Why are you hanging out with us common poor people? And I'm like, poor? I want to live where you live. What are you talking about? You got beautiful land. You got a nice little house hut with food everywhere. You talking about poor? That ain't poor.
And
then the princess, who is so, obviously royalty, and she's stealing her food. She starts picking the food out behind her. I'm like, what a little bitch.
And,
I'm like, I love you, Mia Sarah, but you're a bitch.
She took down the clothesline for the clothes.
Yeah, just messing with her.
Yeah.
Very weird damsel in distress with this movie.
Hey, is it me or would have been Jack's better choice to go with Una?
Too small.
Oh, but she can shapeshift to whatever he wants.
Oh, that's true. Yeah.
Oh yeah, I forgot about the.
That's true. I would have gone that route.
He could have had the princess whenever he wanted, or some other chick. Hey,
he could have have her shapeshift into Salma Hayek.
Who's it? Una.
Una, I think her name was. Yeah.
Una? She was into it too. She wouldn't mind.
Dude, she wanted
Jack.
She wanted when I don't care how you want it, when you want it.
Right.
Yeah, she put Tinkerbell to shame.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, she did.
And if you lock yourself out of your house, be like, "Hey, you fly through the keyhole. Give me back in my house."
That's it.
Or she can fly in another hole. Who knows? Hey,
yeah,
Jack might be into it.
Yeah, a little prostate massage. Something like that. You might want to put on something. Get some dirty in there. Oh, my prostate.
Stop it, Rob.
You just got to have her sanitize herself when she comes out. It gets a little nasty in there. It's warm, though. It's warm if you can deal with the smell.
Yeah, I mean, like Brown Tom.
Brown Tom.
Damn it. I thought Julia Roberts in Hook was bad.
No. Una wanted it. She was thirsty. Definitely thirsty.
Mm-hmm. Oh, man. Let's see here. We check on chat. See how chat's doing over here. Chat's laughing here. Oh man. So, anything else to say about the movie before we give the verdict at the end here?
I want a remake. I want to see a modern, and I want Ridley Scott to do it. With today's technology, I mean, I'd still love him to keep the practical effects, but hey, why not? I mean, they remake all this other trash, so let Ridley have another shot at it. I think it would do really well. This is one title I would support if they tried to redo it, depending if they got Ridley Scott or somebody competent to do the movie.
I think you could improve on certain aspects, like maybe expand the action set pieces, make them a little bit more elaborate, maybe
and a little bit more backstory couldn't hurt. There's still a lot of questions about the characters. I don't think a backstory would hurt. Maybe just open up the world a little bit. That's one. It's funny. That's one thing about this movie that is a good thing and it's a bad thing at the same time. It feels very claustrophobic. It feels like it's really in a concentrated area. You know what I mean? But maybe that's because they don't really go into detail of the location and where this takes place. But that's stuff I would like to see. More expanded lore on the film.
And I heard the original script was that way, and they had to cut it down. So maybe they could use their original write-up and build off of that anyway.
Yeah, that'd be a great idea.
I'm all for it. I'm all for it if they do it right. I just have a bad feeling that everything's going to be CGI heavy and it's going to fucking blow.
Yeah, that's why I said, keep the practical effects. Definitely keep that. I mean, use the CGI to enhance it, not to actually develop it. You know what I mean?
Right.
We don't want to Steppenwolf darkness.
Mm-hmm.
Dude.
You think Steppenwolf was bad before? You should see him. I forgot my line.
Fuck that.
Who said that?
You should see the new Steppenwolf. He looks like absolute trash.
Really?
He looks like a transformer, like a Michael Bay transformer.
Oh no.
Yeah, it looks like. Yeah, Justice League is going to be bad. I can't wait.
But a good remake.
Rob, you need to be honest, sir. You need to be honest. If you like it, you like it.
Oh no. I even said like the first Justice League I thought was decent. It wasn't Avengers level, but I did enjoy it. But this one, it's going to be so bad, and I can't wait because I have a lot of DC fans on my channel, and they get so mad when I trash DC, and I'm always giving Marvel praise, but I don't always trash DC. I mean, like I said, I loved Wonder Woman. The second Wonder Woman was trash. I don't see any, Suicide Squad, trash. Batman vs. Superman, trash. Superman, Man of Steel, I love it. So I'm fair. There's definitely DC movies I love, but overall they're trash.
Right.
Yeah. Just keeping it real.
But it's, what's funny though is yesterday on my stream with Darth Daddy Lunga, he's like the biggest DC guy. He's like DC all the way. But even he, and that's great. There's nothing wrong with that. But even he, as a diehard DC fan, is like, no, there's problems.
Yeah, I agree.
Admit there's problems.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I love both. I like DC and Marvel, but even I can admit if there's problems in Marvel, I can admit there's problems.
Yeah. And Marvel does have their problems. It's just that DC's problems are so bad it makes Marvel look good. with their problems, it's like this, as long as DC,
it's
exactly.
like not as bad.
Yeah, not nearly.
All right. So overall here, let's see here. So overall, we all enjoyed the movie. It's a 80s classic. It's an 80s fantasy classic. It has fun characters. Definitely fun characters.
What is the rating on Rotten Tomatoes?
I'm going to bring it up right now. A hot lead.
Yeah, I didn't realize Meg Mucklebone.
And of course, me.
With my big horns and the ones on my head, too.
I appreciate all of you loving this film. It makes me smile. Thank you. Thank you all. Thank you.
Look how red my nipples are.
But yeah, overall, it's a very simplistic story, but overall, I think the visuals make up for it in the end, and it's a very fun watch. It's a very great fantasy movie with a great soundtrack. And if they do a remake, don't fuck it up.
Yeah, don't. I have a feeling it will happen at some point.
Can they use Satan from the Pick of Destiny?
That would be funny. So here we go. You ready for this? Here we go. I'm going to bring up right now the banner. This is what it is on Rotten Tomatoes.
Oh, wow.
Ooh, wow. Yeah, that's
8%, which is ridiculous.
I think the audience score is probably right. I think that's a good rating. I think 73 is fair. It's definitely not rotten. That's for sure.
Yeah, that's ridiculous. Eric, 73 or higher?
Well, I mean, my personal rating would be higher, but I think if you say 3 out of every 4 people would like it, I think that's a pretty nice percentage. Right around 73, 75, right around there is cool.
Sumo?
I agree. I mean, the audience is more on point than it is with the Rotten Tomatoes.
Right.
Yeah.
All right, there you go. I agree as well. So it definitely. Oh, I forgot one more thing. One more thing that I'm starting to do now. The Movie Dojo Army has also rated the film. I did a poll if they agree with the 38 and if they believe it deserves better. Check it out. Boom! Movie Dojo Army. Even
there you go. Oh, that's wow! Look at that. 75. So
75
makes sense.
Yeah. Even the Movie Dojo Army agrees it deserves a little bit more love than that. So, as is tradition, is it really that bad? Legend, 1985. It is not really that bad. It has passed the flying colors. It gets the Chuck Norris thumbs up.
There we go.
That's it for today. That's right.
Sidekicks Norris.
All right. Oh man. Hey, one more time, Rob. Go, Rob. One more time.
Oh, yes.
Everyone agrees. I love it.
Oh, to have this feeling once more in my pants. It's been eternity.
Like, don't be afraid to go deeper, Una.
Squeeze it just a little. I like when you do that. Wait. Let me lean on the table so I can shoot on the floor.
Ooh.
I don't want anything in my drink.
Oh man.
Hey, did you guys know that Meg Mucklebones was played by was it Robert Picardo?
Yeah, from he was from Star Trek Voyager.
Yeah. I
Yeah,
was tripping
yeah.
out when I saw that, man. I was like, what?
I know, right? But he was great.
Yeah, a nice fat boy.
You know what? This is what Hollywood will do. This is what Hollywood will do. They will not remake the movie. They will do a prequel on the origin of darkness.
That actually would be good. It's just too bad
Cool.
Tim Curry's in such a bad state health wise.
Yeah,
You know.
yeah.
Or they'll do a George Lucas special edition and just add footage to it.
There you go.
Yeah, that's true.
So Goji, I'm looking at the comments right here. Dog Soldier says the 75% was all Phat Samurai Guy votes. I am not allowed to vote once I click on the poll and it's done. I cannot vote. Let's see. Goji gave it 89%. Omegon 73. All right. Oh, 75. Dog Soldier gave it 50. All right. 80% for Brad. All right. Nice. That was fun. What you guys got going on this week? I know what you got going on, Sumo. Work.
Or Miami.
Rob, anything coming out this week?
Yeah, I got a lot of videos I got to do tomorrow. I haven't done any content the last 2 days because Monday I was just in lethargy mode. Plus my wife was off, so and then today, unfortunately, she was very busy taking phone calls, so it was kind of I didn't want to really record while she was working, and then I had to, the kids were in school, so tomorrow I have like at least 4 or 5 videos I got to do, and then Thursday's a stream, and then Friday stream, Saturday stream.
Okay. Cool. Eric, any other reviews coming up?
Earlier tonight, I released 2 very oddball Japanese movies, Crazy Lips and The Gore from Outer Space. They're kind of like they're like very bizarre comedy exploitation films.
Yeah.
And then I'm reviewing Ninja and the Dragon's Den on Friday.
Oh, shit. That's my shit right there. Woo.
And I got to keep catching up on my Godzilla rewatches.
Yeah. So are you going to do reviews?
Probably, yeah.
Nice. Cool. Let's see here. Well, I guess that's good enough. We can go ahead and wrap it up for today. This was a fun stream, guys. Thanks again for hanging out on the podcast. That's right. Rob, Entertainment Talk Nation, Eric, Asian Movie Enthusiast, and the Movie Dojo, and some guy named Sumo. How did this guy get in here?
This fucking guy over here.
I'm trying to keep my episodes a little bit shorter than usual, so it helps me do other things throughout the day. Omni Blast, we just finished Omni Blast. You're gonna have to watch from the beginning, but thanks for popping in to say hi. But this was a lot of fun. This was badass. Even if you guys hated the movie, it still would have been fun to talk about it. We all agree to disagree, and we go home still on the same Avengers team, because we are the Avengers team of movie reviews of YouTube, whatever the fuck I'm trying to say.
Dun, 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 dun. And
So-
very, very, very inappropriate jokes.
It's all good. It's fun.
Yeah.
It's fun. We got to have fun.
It's mostly me.
Chat, Movie Dojo Army, you guys fucking rock. Don't forget to head over to Asian movie.
It's too much. It's like getting a blowjob and you come and she keeps sucking. Oh,
Head over to Asian Movie Enthusiast channel and subscribe, as well as Rob from Entertainment Talk Nation's channel. Make sure you go over there to subscribe.
oh, I love that, Rob. That beer just makes me.
And I
Yes,
know all of you
That
all
was a nice one.
subscribe.
I'm spent.
Samurai Guy. And I appreciate you being subscribed to me as well. But it was a lot of fun. Don't forget tomorrow at 6 p.m. Pacific time, I will be here with director Ranjit Marwa. We're going to talk about a film called Hold the Dark. And we're going to talk about, is it really that bad? And the reason why I still want to talk about it, even though the rating on Rotten Tomatoes is really high, the audience score is atrocious, and I'm fascinated. I am fascinated, and I have an idea, without even seeing the movie yet. I'm going to watch it tomorrow. I have an idea why Hold the Dark's rating could be low for the audience. And I have
because you cannot hold the dark. Not exactly when I'm. Oh God, Jesus! Jesus.
Where's the cherub?
I know. I tried to find a GIF of the cherub, bro. Cherub was jamming, bro, on the table. He was like, "Oh shit!"
I got to see that again. I never noticed that.
It's only for a few seconds, but he starts moving. I'm like, "What?"
Do you
But
know
yeah, it's pretty funny.
if Ranjit's going to release Patila Man?
I know. I'm going to ask him tomorrow.
You better make it happen.
I'm going to keep
They
bugging
need,
him.
you know, now that I'm thinking about it, they need to if they remake Legend, they need to do an R version. Or you know what I mean? We need some. We need some. Darkness needs some action with faces like that. No, come on, yeah.
Because
anyway, this commentary is better than the actual movie.
Dude, I was reading online that Ridley Scott wanted to make it more graphic than what it was.
Oh my God!
There's a scene right where there's all the. It looks like a mountain of rocks. That was actually a mountain of bodies. When they were in hell, but then they said, "Oh no, it's too graphic," so they went and painted them all black, and just like all you see now is a little bit of skulls, and then like a bunch of black things just painted like rocks.
There you go. There you go. Remake or whatever. Make it rated R.
Yeah. And let Darkness get his swerve on.
Yep. You gotta see him drop a red load somewhere.
You know.
All right, guys. Thanks for hanging out with us. Don't forget to subscribe to these badasses. And thank you for watching and liking and all that good shit.
Make sure you go to my channel and see nothing.
I'm gonna motivate you, man. You're gonna start doing something. Even if it's
eventually, man. I just gotta
2-minute reviews or less. I don't know. We'll work it out. 2-second reviews. There you go.
It's good. Goodbye.
That's it. That's the big deal. All right, guys. Thanks for hanging out. I'll see you guys tomorrow, 6 p.m. for Hold the Dark. I got a feeling. I think I know why. Will I hate the movie? We shall see. All right. See you guys tomorrow. Take care.
Peace.